one. So when she evoked they, she meant who her higher self evokes. So explain that, what you just said, Ascended Masters, if you don't mind.
Okay, so one of the things, this is just an example. I do tarot, and I started dabbling in tarot when I was 18. And that's why everybody said, how did you start? And there's so many different avenues that I've had in my life, so I'm trying to keep it simple. So when one of my clients, Annie, came on, it was just we were going to some wine and just have some fun. Well, this entity, I was thinking about starting an international group because, and where it's a support system, because I hate very fake psychics. I hate egotistical psychics. And so I wanted to start a group, and Richard's, a good metaphor for that, as to people that are support system, that are friends, that are real, that are aware. So I was starting this group, and Elohim, never heard of Elohim at that point, came full on trans-channeling into Annie. And they're like, we like what you do. And for a year and a half, they would come in through her. She was 28 years old and a mother of 4 kids, and I learned a lot. So at that point, around 2003, something like that, then I said, I will work with you. They like what you do. So she would count how many spirits were in the room, and she goes, oh, they're delegating who's going to talk. That's what's been happening now in the last 17 years. 10 years. And Richard would know, and Richard and I met, and he would see these many, many different entities in my room, and we would feel many, many different things. As I found out, as I've done tones, it releases the lower vibes or frequencies, and then we get higher and higher frequencies, which we get higher and higher guides like school. So as I've cleared out many people, including Richard and many other people, they've been able to be in contact with the people that I'm working on.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit, folks, because this is a really this is a little bit of new wave, a little bit of old woo-woo, a little bit of old New Age talk, and then the Ascension Masters, which I am one, is Richard. I'm Marci. When we evoke those higher callings for ourselves, in the past, in our past lives, and especially in our training on the planet, we speak 3D now, etymology, and to many people that aren't familiar with interdimensionals or into those of life after life, or those out-of-body experiences or near-death experiences. So we may want to evoke Ghost with Patrick Swayze for this first show with Marci, and Richard, because even me listening knows that a lot of people out there are very familiar with what they're talking about, and others aren't. So what we're doing is we're going to do our listening audience, if you'll bear with us, that everybody out there isn't a metaphysician, although we'd like to think they were. And Marci is actually at one of the levels of, she's been, what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, Marci, you've been doing this, did I hear, since you were 18? You were initiated into the Sacred Mystery School? Or how would you say that?
Well, the way that, this is another example, because this has been step by step. That's why I wrote my book. It's been my whole spiritual journey on my Theta book. From when I was born, and my father, my first psychic reading, wanted a boy, but he was angry that I was a girl. So he had passion for anger and arguments with me. So it started off in that journey. The first spirit I saw was when I was like 18. My great aunt died. I was with a friend of mine in San Francisco, and I would go to the bathroom after she died, and I go, this is your Aunt Nita. So it's been this whole process journey of different entities communicating with me. And as you get more and more of the clear channel and get rid of that heavy carbon energy, then they're able to communicate with you more. They are around us, and what I've been trying to teach people, it's a muscle. It's like, and this is why I started the support group, like my friend Mervan and Shauna, who Richard just met, we're all supporting each other. Richard's supporting us. We're supporting each other, and we're verifying that, no, this is not our imagination. So it's a matter of just people think that they're going crazy because they see, feel, and hear things that they're not sure if it's real. There's many, many dimensions and many, many different energies that are going on. So I've been doing this journey and helping and healing. This is what I'm meant to do, to help open people up or awaken them, if you want to call it, that type of thing.
Very good. Okay. So did you have any schooling as far as academia or education in public schools, or any after for certifications, or maybe a massage, CNA, PA, you know, any,
no,
anything
none of that
like
stuff.
that?
It's
Okay.
just kind of like I started dabbling in tarot. Somebody did a tarot reading. I was brought up Yugoslavian, and they did it, you know, on a Christmas. And I kind of took off from there and found out I did tarot reading in other lifetimes. So to me, the tarot was very easy to do. So it's like these dabbling when I was like 19, 20, 21, and then starting to hear voices, and it just got deeper and deeper. And then I took off up to the Rainbow Gathering, where I thought that it was going to be a spur of the moment with these two gypsies from Florida around 83. Well, I ended up having 5 deja vus. Then after that, then I went back home to the Bay Area where I lived with a friend of mine, and we both decided to move out. And I looked for doing au pair work in Marin. So I did the au pair work, or I went into the interview and my friend took off, her boyfriend came, and so the mother interviewed me. She had 4 kids. I thought it was only going to be for one. It was a 3-story house. So I had a dream or deja vu of a white room, white walls, white carpet. It turned out to be the first level of this 3-story house where I did the au pair work, and in which I got introduced to a channeling that says I do psychokinesis. So it's been very much guided through this whole process of what's been going on. And then through there, I've learned the clairaudience, the clairvoyant, and the clairsentience, and just enhanced it. I did hospice and I did home health, and I had a CNA certificate. So, like, I would feel the person dying, or I would see spirits in houses. I ended up depossessing houses. I ended up depossessing people. And just through all this journey, through all these years, just got into these situations.
Thank you. Now,
so,
so you know, let me do a little quick segue here, Marci. Richard and Marci are a huge help, because this has been a very hard mission on Earth to educate everyone that has wanted to see what the ancient mystery schools entailed. And one of my jobs in this reality, after my past lives, near lives, out-of-body experiences, bodhisattva, whatever you want to say, Ascension Age Awakening classes, was I was teaching in Hawaii many years ago in the 80s, and I opened up the ancient mystery schools to a lot of the initiates. But, people were calling me saying, do you know what you're doing? And I'm like, well, I hope so. And then I got Michael Jackson to come over as a human form 3D, and we worked with him in 93 and 94, I believe, and other famous people and a lot of movie stars. So a lot of people know what's going on at the various levels and can teach us. So we all recognize, all of you listening out there, as students and teachers and learners and educators and light workers and truth seekers. And the Ascension Age was all about us coming together with the yugas and all the world religions. So we have books out there if you want to see how all the world religions came together on the planet. And a lot of them that went off planet are either defunct or no longer in existence. So please know that we honor all religions, and the Metaphysicians you'll have to look up the word metaphysics, which we did, I think, last week with Richard, Ascension, and the Ascension Age Awakening. But we will be helping everybody learn to speak because so many people are segregated. And we are doing this. We are actually bringing everybody, but now we listen to each person as to how they identify. So I'm going to bring up and evoke this BIPOC, which is BIPOC, and the Koreans, and I've read a lot of journals out there and a lot of posts yesterday on it's, let me see if I can remember. It's an acronym for Black Indigenous People of Color, especially after the Floyd incidents on the planet in Minnesota, George Floyd. And then we've had this other thing in the word that we don't do politics, folks, but we do know that in the spiritual, we're under spirituality today, not paranormal. Now, some days, and we'll put this in paranormal to compete with a lot of other of our stations out there that handle talk show live. But we are building paranormal and spirituality, and we'll figure out all this for all the main stations, Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker, Stitcher, and all that, and I'll get the feedback and the numbers. And we are going into statistics and data collection. So people like Marci and Richard have been helping in the realms of, depending on what you guys can let us know, we'd love to have your feedback on metaphysics and esoterics and all the ancient mystery schools that a lot of people know. They're handling them on YouTube. But Marci, let's see, how can we have, let's see how we can have you and Richard. We've got a long time left. We've got 1 hour and 11 minutes left. That's a long time.
To me, that's normal. One of the things that Richard's always been good at gauging is, like, I would do my low tones, and we figured they're from somewhere else. My high tones, and so a friend of mine, Merben, would see gold energy coming out with the tones. Tones or binaural sounds or sound Reiki have been around for thousands and thousands of years. There are temples all around the world where it's the 432 hertzes. Inside you go down steps and the stones, or there's one in India where they made a temple where each stone was a different sound. But what happened around 35 was Rockefeller started the pharmacy because when he went to court for the railroad, it split up. He did the same thing. So that's a lost art of healing sounds. I don't use instruments. I use my voice, and as I clear my own energies out like 1,000 volts, it'll blast out your 500-volt energy. Everything is frequency. Are you processing?
Yeah, we got you.
I know.
TJ,
I know
still
you
there?
do. That's what I'm saying. I'm not hearing her.
That's okay. She
And
might have accidentally
Well,
put
we might
herself
have
on hold.
Well, Richard and I know that we usually get Skype frozen, we get sounds frozen, we get energy. And one of the things Elohim said with me 8 years ago was, your frequency is so high, technology can't handle it. And when I talked to them again, they pretty much told me to deal. So this is a normal where Richard and Richard could tell you his experiences too, where we lose sound. We have to constantly restart the Skype, the phones, everything because of the vibrational energy that we're pertaining. And Richard and I were talking with me, TJ, and Richard, we're going to blow circuits.
Well, just so our viewing audience understands, the Elohim or the Elohim are basically, that's a Latin Hebrew term indicating the sons of God. And basically, these are creatures that were created, they were manifested as mankind to begin with, and they were uplifted in their consciousness, just as Christ was when he turned 33. to become basically fully awakened and God conscious. So when you refer to Elohim, you're talking about the sons of God, and they may or may not actually be physically incarnate,